Unfortunately, just now I was kicked off from the line twice, so I cannot get the full speech presentation by Professor Londonor. But generally speaking, I know of his opinion about China. Well, since Ambassador Denisov asked me to talking about book, I will start it from book and then talking about how China's policy toward the U.S. and Russia after the 20th Party Congress. And this book actually shaped from the traditional paradigm of analyzing international affairs or international politics from the environmental factors like power structure, international system, and international norms, and all of these things. But then it shifted to use the paradigm of the leadership analysis. That means regarded the leadership as the key factor, the independent variable, which actually influence the whole world, and especially those leaders and the leaderships in major powers like U.S., China, and Russia. And I would like to say, and this book strongly emphasized that, and what kind of future for the world, and mainly depends on what kind of leadership that the major powers can offer for the world. Unfortunately, at this moment, because the U.S. can no longer offer leadership because of its resources or capability is declining, and China as the rising power do not have that kind of material resources to provide a solo leader. And the other major powers put together cannot offer a collective leadership. That means now the world is in the situation with order without global leadership. So at this moment, because we do have a global leadership, and then we find that the world is stepping back from globalization to deglobalization. So this is a real situation. So related to Chinese Party Congress, the 20th Party Congress, and the Chinese Communist Party, and judge that the world come to a new age. In this new age or this new time, and where it stands in the intercross, and which direction the world will move towards, we don't know. So for Chinese government, they think we need to find out and which direction or dimension is the right direction. So the world should follow the street toward the right direction, rather than make the U-turn or make the wrong turn back to the cold. This is a general judgment about the current situation. So Chinese government strongly emphasized that China has no intention to fight a new war, and especially does not want to fight a new war with the U.S. Just now, Professor Londonor has talked the confrontation between China has increased and spreading, spread in all fields. Is quite comprehensive. So the danger, people talking about the danger of the Cold War. Actually, in my book, I said that, and the world has moved into a new age, in the digital age, and although we do not have a global leadership, but at this moment, and we still do not have that kind of danger of the Cold War, because at this moment, ideological confrontation is a major part between China and the US. The core of the confrontation is digital technology. You see, US adopted the strategy to decouple from China in what field? Mainly in technology, digital technology fields, like the Professor Lamanov mentioned, like Huawei and Zhongxin. These companies has suffered great sanction from American government. Okay, this is the first point. The second point is about China's policy toward the U.S. and toward Russia. This is a fundamentally difference. And China's policy toward the U.S. is to seek for a peaceful coexistence and general stability. This means that we are not friends, we are competitors, but we hope this competition can be carried out in a peaceful manner. So until prevent the competition or the conflict escalating into war. China's policy toward the U.S. toward Russia, okay? Toward Russia is a deep end. China regards Russia as a partner and try to consider to deepen our mutual trust and enlarge our shared interests. So you see, the wording used in the party reports are very different. For with the U.S. is a peaceful coexistence and general stability. With Russia, it will be deepening mutual trust and integrate our interests. Meanwhile, in concerning China's policy toward the U.S., and that's the goal. The policy toward the U.S. and Russia are also very different. Toward the U.S. is that China opposes unilateralism, opposes the alignment, opposes small yard high fence. The small yard high fence adopted by the U.S. China opposes this American policy. In regarding to the policy with Russia is that to enlarge our influence of BRICS. China, Russia are major members of the BRICS. And also China and Russia are the leading powers of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So China's policy toward Russia is to improve BRICS and Shanghai Cooperation Organization's influence. So you see, this is very different. The third point, and the very last, and China-Russia strategic relationship based on the international strategic pressure from the United States, and mainly from the United States. So this situation won't change because of China's Party Congress. No matter we have the 20th Party Congress or not, these common shared strategic pressure from the U.S. will not change. So U.S. has already said very clearly, repeatedly, they said that U.S. will continue the war in Ukraine. Certainly it means it fight against Russia, but U.S. will not shift the major target from China to anyone else. What it means? It means that they still regard China as the only major global challenge to the United States. Okay, so our strategic relationship has a very, very solid base. That means we have a common strategic interest to dealing with the strategic pressure from the United States. Second, and also in this third point, the second argument is that no matter who came to power in the next 10 years in the United States, no matter which party hold the power in the United States, they won't change their policy toward China and Russia. So Biden continues the Trump's policy toward China. From my understanding, next president, no matter who he is, he will continue the current policy, the Biden's policy, or Trump's policy toward China. So the competition has already decided that. And but then their strategy may be differently in technical level. That means they will adjust their small yard, high fence technology. That means in the low technology sectors, U.S. still will continue the economic cooperation with China, but definitely not the high tide. So that really depends on what? Depends on the progress of the technology development. And so in this way, they also regarded they regarded China-U.S. relationship as a global issue. Meanwhile, they regarded the U.S. and the Russia relationship as a European issue. This is so important to the U.S. because U.S. need to unite it with its European countries or the European members of the NATO. For consolidated relationship with the NATO European members, they certainly will take a confrontation policy against Russia. So this also will they won't change. Last comment for the third part is that in the future, China and the U.S. should work together to, like what Chinese Communist Party's report said, that we should improve or increase the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's influence in this region. Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a regional organization, and this organization has a very solid base in Central Asia. So if we want to make the Eurasian region to develop regularly, stably, and China and Russia should consider how to make the Shanghai Cooperation Organization play a positive role. And at this moment, because India and Pakistan's participation becomes a member of this organization, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization can no longer play the original positive role. So this is a new issue for China and the U.S. With Russia, for talking about how to make the Shanghai Cooperation Organization more influential. So for sake of the improve the influence Shanghai Cooperation Organization, China and Russia should adopt a more open policy and make the people, goods, and technology and capital flow freely. By now, from my understanding, China and Russia still do not have a free visa system, and people's contact is very limited. So if we want to make the cooperation between China and Russia to improve, we should learn from the Europeans. And they open their border to each other, and they even have a free visa system with the U.S. So from my understanding, China and Russia should open to each other wider. The wider we open our border to each other, the base of our strategic cooperation will be more solid. Thank you very much for your time.